Hi, everybody. This is Luke with Talking College Football. I've got Dan, I've got Anwar with me today, and this is it. Guys, we've been going through a whole season trying to get to where we start Friday night with Alabama versus Oklahoma. The college football playoffs are finally here, and what we're going to do today, our viewers, is we're going to tell you why a team can win and why the other team can win. And then we're going to tell you who the winner is, and we're going to give you the actual score. So we're going to get right into it because we're going to do this quick. Live from Tokyo is Anwar. I believe, Anwar, you have the Alabama-Oklahoma game. Is that correct?
I do have the Alabama-Oklahoma game.
All right. So tell me why Alabama can win.
So when Alabama can, the way Alabama can win is if they get their pass game going. We've seen this a lot throughout the season. Their quarterback Ty Simpson's actually been on a really cold streak recently, but when Ty Simpson is hot, that man does not miss. I've seen him go 10 for 10, 15 for 15 passing. Once they get their wide receivers going, Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams, and especially if Ryan Williams gets going, they could definitely win this game. Their defense has always been pretty solid against the pass, but weak against the run. So if they force Oklahoma to get into that passing game, where Oklahoma doesn't have the strongest passing game out, really. I mean, they do have a strong passing game, but I feel like Oklahoma's focus is the run with John Mateer. Um, so if Alabama shuts down Oklahoma's passing game and gets their own passing game going, I think Alabama can win. Alabama's got a great corner, a great secondary,
Okay.
and it's going to be fun to watch them match up against the OU receivers.
Okay. Thank you. And why can Oklahoma win? And the reason why we're doing why each team could win, these are supposed to be allegedly the top 12 teams in all of college football. Now, we know that there are two outliers, but it's going to take care of itself in the second round. So, Anwar,
Yep.
why can Oklahoma
So Oklahoma
win?
can win this game by playing suffocating defense. I feel like it's kind of the opposite of Alabama in the way that I think Alabama wins with offense. I think Oklahoma wins with defense. Oklahoma, a lot of things have been made of John Mateer and bringing Jaden Ott into the transfer portal, but really their strength is in their defensive front. If they can get pressure on Ty Simpson, make life hell for him, hurry his throws. They don't even have to sack him. Just make him feel the pressure. I think Oklahoma has a solid chance to win this game, especially if they could take the advantage of the Bama's weak run defense, get Mateer going on to QB draws, maybe get him outside the pocket. I think Oklahoma also has a solid chance to win this game. And right now, I'm leaning Oklahoma because of that defense.
Okay. Well, I haven't asked you that yet, but the betting line is Alabama minus 1.5, and the over under is 40.5. So, Anwar, give us the winner and what's the score?
All right, give me Oklahoma in a low-scoring game. What I think happens in this game, one thing we haven't discussed is there's been some rumors of a Ty Simpson back injury. And also, Alabama may be without their running back, Jam Miller. So I think Oklahoma stuffs the run. I think they shut down Alabama. Well, I don't think they shut down the receivers, but I think they shut down Ty Simpson by getting pressure on him. I think those linebackers, they disguise on some blitzes. And give me a low-scoring game. I'll take Oklahoma 17 to 14. I'm taking 17 to 14 Oklahoma.
Okay.
Low-scoring game.
Hey guys, when I ask you this about who can win and why, Anwar, like if you got facts like that, put it into your why somebody could win as opposed to saving it to the very end. I mean that plays a part. I also think that you didn't mention the fact that Alabama is returning their injured players this week, and they should be at full force. So
I've
with
heard
that being
there's still that rumor that Ty Simpson is still injured. So
okay, but you should have said that when you were giving your analysis of why Oklahoma can win and not save that to when you make your prediction. Your prediction basically is this. It's Oklahoma 17, Alabama 14. That's it. You don't need much more than that. Dan, let's go ahead and let's move right to you. You got the very next game, and that's Saturday night. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Saturday at noon on ABC. That's Miami at Texas A&M. Where's that game? Oh, that's played at Texas A&M, man, at Kyle Field. All right.
Yeah, that's
Dan,
going to be a big one.
Tell me, why can Miami win?
Miami can win because they're very boomer bust, especially with their quarterback. Carson Beck, you could see him go insane, throw for 300 yards, or you could see him throw 4 or 5 picks in a game and just kind of lose it himself. They have some explosive players, like I said, Carson Beck, Malachi Toney, one of the best receivers in the country. They have a solid running back who can have some big games, Mark Fletcher.
Okay.
And then Ruben Bain is
Seems
just
like
a
we
beast
lost
on the
Dan.
defense. So he's going to be coming after Marcel Reed all game. So Miami, if they win, it's going to be because they're a high-flying offense.
Fill this in for you.
More from the pass game than the running. And
here's why Miami
see if they can take
win.
advantage because
They have
Texas
an
A&M has
offensive
been known to
line
give
that's
up
fantastic.
a lot of points.
Okay, I think that they'll be able to keep Texas the Texas A&M defensive front out of the backfield, which is not easy because we know the Texas A&M have a very good defensive line. Okay, I think that Miami's run defense is one of the best in the nation. Now, they didn't face anybody like Texas A&M. All right, so we'll see what happens. So now I'm going to go ahead and tell you why I think Miami can win. I like an experienced quarterback. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That was so I'm going to tell you why I think Texas A&M can win. Having watched them a lot this year, I thought they were solid on both offense and defense. I like what they can do. Here's the other thing. It's a early kickoff, and that A&M crowd is going to be jacked. Okay? Now, I think that makes the big difference right here. So that's why both teams could possibly win. Now, I'm going to make my decision right now for Dan. I don't know what he was going to say. The line is Texas A&M minus 3.5, which is pretty standard for the home team. The over-under is 51.5. I think that Mario Cristobal and the Canes have something to prove. I'm going to go with, in an upset at Kyle Field, Miami 30, Texas A&M 27. Close game, a nail biter throughout. Anwar, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I like that pick.
Who wins?
Actually, I would probably take Texas A&M in this game. I think you were talking about how Miami has something to prove. I think Texas A&M has something to prove, especially the way how they ended their season on that really unfortunate loss to their rival. You know, it kind of reminds me of last year. Ohio State loses to their rival Michigan, and that just absolutely motivates them. And I can see a similar thing going for Texas A&M. You lose everything in that last game. You lose your shot at the SEC championship. You lose to your rival on the road, and I think that's a big motivation factor. I'll take Texas A&M in that game.
All right. So, and what's the score, Anwar? What's your score?
I will take Texas A&M. I'll take Texas A&M 28, Miami 24.
Okay. Dan, we've already done the analysis of your game. Who do you got winning that Texas A&M Miami game? And give us the score, please.
I have Texas A&M, I'll say 45 to 42.
High scoring.
We need a shootout.
That's almost 90 points, Dan.
Yeah. Take the over, guys.
Take the over. All right. So we're on to our very next game. Now, listen. Anwar, you drew the shorts. Wait a minute. Who's got the Tulane Ole Miss game? Is it Dan or Anwar?
I got the Tulane Ole Miss.
Okay. So, Anwar, here's the question. Why can Tulane win this game?
Well, I think when you look at Tulane and the reason why they could win this game, it actually has to do a lot with Ole Miss. And, they just recently lost their coach. It was a big scene going on in Oxford. And when a team loses a coach, two things could happen. One, they really just hate that coach and they bond together through like the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator who takes that interim position. Um, However, they don't like him. They kind of do this thing where they kind of give up. You know, Ole Miss has kind of been a quietly good team. They were never really in the SEC championship discussion, even though they only had one loss. Um, you know, I could see a situation in which the mood in Oxford is just so down after the loss of Lane Kiffin. They got all excited that he would stay, and they just come out flat, and that's always a possibility. Tulane doesn't have the talent to beat Ole Miss, and we've seen them play already in the regular season. However, a different set of circumstances. We didn't know about this Tulane team, and now we know this Tulane team has actually got some solid players, a solid quarterback in Jake Retzlaff, who's had time to learn the system. So I think this could definitely be a different outcome and different in which the
I hadn't
way it
mentioned
played
that
out.
yet. Okay, so I got to respond because I think the difference is the first time that they played. This is why your question was, why can Tulane win? I think Retzloff, like you just mentioned, is playing much better. The second thing is this is the game that was pretty close in the first half when Tulane played them before in the first time. This is the game that Trinidad Chambliss came in the second half, and they weren't prepared for that. So now, with that being said, Anwar, why does Ole Miss win this game?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, there's two paths to when a interim coach takes over the position, and especially in this situation, you see like the players they just hated the fact that Lane Kiffin left, and it seems like their new coach Pete Golding has got like pretty loved by a lot of the players. It seems like they were all very happy when he was taking over. Ole Miss is definitely superior talent wise. Um, You've now had a full season with Trinidad Chambliss. So, like we were just talking with Retzlaff, when he first came in at the beginning of the year, he hadn't learned the Tulane system, and when Trinidad Chambliss took over at Ole Miss, he didn't really know the Ole Miss system as his first game starting out there. So Trinidad Chambliss has had time to develop. Ole Miss has got a really good run game, a really underrated run game with Kawan Lacey. I saw a little Heisman hype for him. I feel he finished somewhere in the 10 to 8 range in the Heisman voting. So solid run game. Overall, strong offense. So I think Ole Miss can win this game by offensive production. And
Okay, so what's your final score? Here, let me give you the betting lines on that. I'm sorry. Not that the betting lines determine who we're going to do, but the line is, wow, Tulane is minus 17 and a half. The over under is 55.5. So Anwar, who wins and what's the score?
give me Ole Miss 38-21. Like I think that just the talent overcomes, and
Okay,
also I think
Dan?
Ole Miss is trying to prove a point.
Okay, Dan.
I would say Ole Miss 31-7.
Wow, blowout on your end. All right, so here we go. The biggest outlier there is. I'm going to start off by saying James Madison at Oregon. James Madison just, what is it, 3 or 4 years ago, moved up to the FBS. And in that 4-year period, they have played exactly 5 schools from the Power 5 conference. Here's what's interesting. This year, of those 5, they played 2 of them, and they won both of those games. And those teams are, one of them played for the ACC championship, and the other one is going bowling. And that's Northwestern and Duke. So, Dan, why can James Madison beat Oregon at Autzen?
Wait,
James Madison,
quick thing.
Hold on just for a
Quick thing.
second.
I think you're talking about Tulane there because Northwestern played Tulane, not JMU.
Did I mess it up? Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry, looked at
All right.
wrong notes. Wrong notes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before I start about that, just respect to Tulane or James Madison for even getting here. A lot of people have been complaining about the two Group of Five conference teams in this playoff. That's not their fault. They did their job. They did what they're supposed to do. It's the other conference's fault for not, playing themselves into a championship game and a playoff berth. But for James Madison to win the game, it's going to have to be won in the trenches, on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. James Madison's biggest strength is their run defense. They got one of the best run defenses in the country, statistically. We'll see how that holds up against superior opponents. So they're going to have to shut down Oregon. But even if they shut down Oregon's rushing game, Oregon can still attack up through the air.
All right, we heard enough about James Madison. This tells us why Oregon can win.
All right. Well, James Madison also has a pretty good run game, too. Wayne Knight, their running back, has been a beast. Mr. Newman, he's good. But really, Oregon. It's about Oregon. Norman Newman, yeah, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was funny when I started hearing his name. I was like, wait, I've heard that before. Newman. But yeah, Oregon. I don't think this is going to be very close. Honestly, I think that you might see Oregon resting their starters in the third quarter, getting ready for their next game.
Did I give you guys the line for that one?
No.
Before you make your picks, let's see here. Oh my goodness. The line is Oregon minus 25. The over and under is only 50.5. So, Dan, who wins the game and what's the score?
I think that Oregon wins 35-6.
Anwar, who wins the game and what's the score?
Give me Oregon 45-10.
I couldn't hear you. You're too far away.
Oh, my bad. Give me Oregon 45-10.
Wow. Okay. So clearly nobody believes that James Madison should be there. I'm going to say it like this. I agree with you, Dan. By the third quarter, we won't see what his name is, Dante Moore, the starting quarterback. Yeah. We're not going to see him. We're not going to see their big tight end. We're not going to see their receivers going downfield. I believe that the score is going to be embarrassing large. I could see a 50 burger being put on James Madison.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
There's been some talk about
here's the one thing that Oregon and Ohio State. I'm sorry, say that again, Dan.
Oregon's getting some receivers back this week.
They're getting some receivers back, but honestly, they may put them in for a couple series and then take them out. Maybe get them used to the playoff atmosphere, but I don't think they're going to be making a lot. They're not going to want to re-injure them or get them hurt for the Texas Tech game. So, sorry, what were you saying though?
I was going to say that Oregon's number 5, but let's be honest. What's the difference between Oregon and Ohio State? Their only loss is to who? Indiana. Ohio State's only loss is to Indiana. So should they be number 5 or should they be number 3 or number 2? They did beat Penn State, and at the time, that was a great game.
Yeah,
they may have ruined Penn State's season.
You look at the number 2 and 4 teams, and those are both conference championship winners with 1 loss, and Oregon is a non-conference championship winner with 1 loss. So I can see why Oregon's ranked number 5, but they have
Ohio State's number 2. Ohio State's number 2. Indiana won the Big Ten.
Yeah, I said number 2 and number 3 and number 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3 and number 4.
Well, hey, it's early and it's late, depending on which part of the world you're living in right now. All right, so there it is. We just did a show. We named the winners. I think We split on Alabama, Oklahoma. We all agreed.
Actually, I don't think I made a
oh,
pick on that one.
Huh?
I didn't make a. Did I make a pick on that one?
No, you didn't.
Thought you did.
Go ahead, say it.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't
Okay,
Well,
say
for
who
it.
you
that one,
got?
I'd say Oklahoma, 13-10.
Okay. So now I don't remember if we split on that because I think I took Oklahoma. Oh yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma in that game too. Anwar, you took Oklahoma.
Then it was this Oklahoma sweep. Then in that
Okay,
case, then it was
Oklahoma in a sweep. Now we split on Miami and Texas A&M. You guys got Texas A&M, right? And I took Miami. I didn't give my pick for Tulane, Ole Miss. You guys both
I had
have
Ole
Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think the addition. I think it's huge getting the offensive coordinator back for Ole Miss. They move on to the next round, and then everybody's got a clean sweep on James Madison and Oregon. Everybody's got Oregon.
I got a question for you guys. Which team between Tulane and James Madison, out of the two, which has a better chance to pull off an upset?
I'd say Tulane. Yeah.
Tulane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I think they're a better team, and I think they're facing a worse team.
Yeah,
Especially
I-
with
I-
Lane gone.
I think Tulane actually has a chance to upset Ole Miss. You know, it's just me. I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
And I got one more question for you guys. What do you guys think is going to be the best home environment for this round of playoff games?
Ooh, that's a good question. So the question, I'm going to repeat it, is which game is going to be the best home environment? Is it Oklahoma, Autzen, Kyle Field, or Ole Miss, which is what are they called?
Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
Vaught Hemingway. I don't know. Dan, who you got? Which one do you think is going to be the craziest one?
I'm going to go with Kyle Field.
Oh, wait,
Those are
there's
two
one other
rowdy.
consideration. And Anwar, when you ask that question, it's loaded because Autzen is at night, whereas A&M's at noon. So they're not going to be having imbibed as much, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Dan,
I was thinking, I took that into consideration, but I think that it'll be close. I think that Kyle Field will really be the rowdier one. Those are two crazy fan bases. Like you think of Miami, the U, the type of people that are going to be coming over. And then, of course, Texas A&M, Kyle Field, one of the biggest fields in the country. I think that'll be a more competitive game, too, so that'll really lead to it. And then, some other things. For Alabama, Oklahoma, I saw that Oklahoma gave their students the day off for Friday.
I saw that.
Just canceling school. We don't go here to play school. We go here to play football. As a wise man once said. That's how they do it in Oklahoma, too, I guess. But I think Kyle Field will be the rowdiest one. Autzen, it's a crazy stadium, but I don't think that it'll be a very close game. Students may be hitting the exits a little early.
how about you, Anwar?
Yeah, so I was gonna I was kind of between this Oklahoma what is their stadium called? Gaylord Memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I obviously I don't want to steal Dan's answer with the Texas A&M, so I was gonna go between Oregon and Oklahoma, both night games. Oregon has got apparently one of the most underrated environments in the country. It gets really loud out there, beautiful, big fan base. First home. All these schools are also having their first home playoff game, so either all four environments are going to be exciting. But I was going to take Autzen as well. Massive game for Oregon for their first home playoff game and at night. And I just think it's going to be a great environment, especially since they're expecting to win. Like Dan said, the students are going to be out by the third quarter, but those first quarters should be rocking. So
Yeah.
I know it's just going to be fun. Man, that A&M 12th man, they've been chomping at the bits for how many years just to get into something big like this. That's the place. That's going to be the most raucous place. And it's Miami on top of that. And the game's probably going to be close. Yeah, give me Kyle Field with the 12th man as the most raucous place. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other ancillary stuff we need to answer before we close up the shop for until next week?
Well, briefly, we can touch on the Heisman. They just announced the Heisman this past weekend. And we predicted it right. I think we all said Mendoza was going to win. But I just wanted to bring this up because I saw some stats. This will be good for my Texas A&M, Texas people in general. The state, not the university. But I saw comparing the 2012 Heisman race to 2025, where Johnny Manziel won. Look at, it says, so it's comparing Jeremiah Love, one of the best running backs in the league. He was the third ranked Heisman finalist. I just saw him compared to Johnny Manziel, a quarterback. Johnny Manziel had only 2 more carries than Jeremiah Love that year, and he had 40 more yards in him rushing, and he's a quarterback. That's not even including his passing yards. He had 3 more rush touchdowns. Then Jeremiah Love was the best running back in college football this year. That's just insane how good Manziel was. I didn't really remember that. I just was kind of blinded by my Notre Dame, fandom that year. Speaking of that, if you compare Jacob Rodriguez to Manti Te'o that same year in 2012, Jacob Rodriguez had 6 more tackles, 6 more solo tackles, 4 more total tackles, twice as many tackles for loss, and 7 more forced fumbles than him. And he wasn't a Heisman finalist, so it's just
7
crazy.
More forced fumbles.
Yeah.
7 more. Yeah, no, I
he
mean,
had a few fewer interceptions. Still.
If there was a year, like this year, the Heisman did not seem to be based on stats. It seemed to be based on moments, and I think out of all the candidates,
always based on moments.
Fernando Mendoza had the best moments out of everybody. Really, if we were just going by just stats and who had the best season stat-wise, it was Jacob Rodriguez compared to other things. But Fernando Mendoza, he had a very, very, very good season, but his numbers were nowhere near Joe Burrow or Johnny Manziel. But he had some very exciting moments. Great guy, by the way. It's very fun to listen to Fernando Mendoza's interviews. He got a little nerdy side to him,
So since we're talking Heisman, what do you think about Pavia's post-loss post and then deletion? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think he's burned a lot of goodwill that he had being an underdog, coming from different division of football, and playing for a scrappy school like Vanderbilt. He's kind of burned through that. He was kind of a favorite, and now people are kind of tired of him.
Yeah, I'm tired of him, man. Shut up. I'm sorry. Like, he's trying to be like Johnny Manziel with the whole like party and like I'm the best, but like literally every interview you see Diego Pavia on, I'm the best college football player of all time. Then he's going out clubbing right after the Heisman ceremony with the Indiana routine. It's like F the Heisman voters, da 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 da. Like, it doesn't like you should like Diego Pavia, but how he came from, his underdog story, and he just ruined it for himself. Like, with all this talk, you bracked up in the field, but like you're doing.
I didn't like he claimed that he was the underdog. I mean, come on. When you look at Mendoza, the guy had no offers from anybody. He came from the same place, so I didn't see where he was trying to draw a line between him and Mendoza, and they both were underdogs. They both came from nothing. Neither one of them looked at him. I think nobody looked at him. So, I mean, you had no argument. Mendoza's on the number 1 team in the country. That was Indiana's first time ever being ranked number 1. They won their first outright Big Ten championship. Outright, what, since 1947? I'm going to give you a quick side note. You know, when you're young and you first start following college football, I was probably about 12 when I was start thinking about it, and Indiana played in the Rose Bowl. And so even though I'm from Ohio, and now that I'm aware that, you know, the Buckeyes have been in the 40s, they won a national championship. They won 2 in the 50s, 2 in the 60s. Then it was a big stretch all the way up into the 2000s. I thought the state of Indiana was the football state because the following year, Purdue was in the Rose Bowl. And then you go back and you look at how teams were selected to be in the Rose Bowl, and you realize, oh, okay, you couldn't go 2 years in a row, regardless of who you were. So anyway, guys, I have nothing else to say. How about you guys? Any final things other than let's tell everybody who watches us, because we won't be back on again until after Christmas when we get ready to preview the quarterfinals, the quarterfinals. So we'll know who won these games and how they stack up against those other 4 teams, Georgia, Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas Tech. So to everybody watching out there, Merry Christmas from me and my family. Well, part of my 1/4 of my family is here. So, Dan, you want to say Merry Christmas to anybody?
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a good New Year. Might see you before then, but Merry Christmas. Have a happy holidays.
AT?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, and sorry to that girl who I canceled the date on tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, tell us that story. Yeah, he was
Grinch.
during pre-production. Anwar gave us a great story. So Anwar, share your story.
I was supposed to have a date tonight, and I canceled it because I didn't have enough money to pay for Michelin star food, which is where we were supposed to go on the date. Yeah.
But let me ask you, what did she look like? Was she a looker or was she just?
No, she's pretty good looking. I don't have the bank account for it, especially since I'm about to go on a little trip. So.
Wow. All right, so that's
Hopefully
a
she
good
doesn't
reason.
speak English.
Huh?
Oh, no,
Hopefully she doesn't
was
speak
Canadian
English.
or something. She was Canadian.
Oh, damn. All right, so you better hope she doesn't watch it.
She speaks
Hopefully
English.
she's not watching.
Well, hey, that brings up a good reason for you to subscribe out there watching. Subscribe to our channel so we can grow and eventually, you know, at least get us to 100 subscribers. And maybe by this time next year, we'll have 1,000 subscribers. And maybe Anwar and Dan and I can get paid for being on here every week. Instead of doing this for the love of the game. Anyway, so subscribe to our channel. That's all we can ask. Make our Christmas cherry and bright.
Subscribe.
All right, guys. Happy holidays to you. Talk to you after Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.